Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine. As you can see, Kisumu is also fantastic. And maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. And for this particular video, ladies and gentlemen, kindly let me know the name of your local market center. You could meet one of your village mates on this platform today. Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga is going to Addis Ababa. That's now a foregone conclusion. He has already received endorsement from East African head of states. In fact, my biggest worry has always been Paul Kagame, because the deputy chair of the African Union Commission is a lady, Lady Monique, Dr. Monique from Rwanda. And I've always suspected that Paul Kagame was going to be a bit problematic. So Raila Odinga went to Rwanda the other day. And of course, Paul Kagame endorsed his bid. And even yesterday, NTV interviewed Paul Kagame. And he endorsed Raila Odinga again.
I respect Raila Odinga. I know his struggles. And he was actually one time... this was around the same time I was the African Union chair, 2018. He has been representing the commission and on the infrastructure for the continent. He did a good job of that. He has full grasp of it. We give him our support and wish him well. And when he's there, not only support to be there, but even when he's there, we'll give him support for Africa to succeed.
But the departure of Raila Odinga from the local political scene is definitely going to affect Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka in a very big way. So in this video, I want us to look at the dilemma which Kalonzo Musyoka is facing as Raila Odinga head to African Union in Addis Ababa. But before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. Let me ask you, who amongst Azimio principles do you think should take over from Raila Odinga? Because let's face it, the reality is, the moment Raila Odinga will take over in Addis Ababa, he will stop being the ODM leader. Of course, he has already announced that in his absence in ODM party, Joho and Oparanya are going to take over. Raila Odinga is also going to stop being the Azimio leader. That's the fact. Which means in Azimio, they will also have to elect a new leader. And the new leader in Azimio can only be two people. Either Kalonzo Musyoka or Martha Karua. Martha Karua is currently the deputy of Raila Odinga because he was Raila Odinga's running mate. And therefore the assumption is if Raila were to leave, then Martha Karua is supposed to take over. But the truth of the matter is that politics is a game of numbers. Martha Karua does not have numbers, and therefore she cannot claim that position, which means Kalonzo Musyoka can claim to be the next leader. And personally, I would vouch for Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka. But Kalonzo Musyoka is facing serious dilemma. That's exactly what I want us to look in this video. Let me ask you, what are some of the weaknesses you have identified with Kalonzo Musyoka before I explain to you guys the challenges? Because you know, Raila Odinga's shoe is too big to be worn by Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka is a politician. He has his strength and he also has his weaknesses. What are some of his weaknesses? For me, the biggest weakness I'm seeing in Kalonzo Musyoka is his inability to craft his own political image. In fact, since Raila Odinga left, Kalonzo Musyoka's visibility has gone down. The last event I can remember was when he was in Homa Bay, where he delivered a perfect speech. And of course, I think he also attended some funeral the other day in, was it in Machakos or Makwiny, where he castigated the Kamba leaders for their infighting, which was also good. The other weakness in Kalonzo Musyoka, I think, can be attributed to finance. Politics is a very capital-intensive venture, which means it is very expensive. If you are to organize an event in Mombasa as a party leader, and then you want to make that event to have a national face, then it means you'll have to convince people like Edwin Sifuna, people like Oledama, Olekina, people like Babu Owino, ODM party, people like Opiyo Wandayi to go to Mombasa. In that case, they might put a request that we are ready, give us a chopper, offer us an accommodation. So which means Kalonzo Musyoka must be having money. And that can explain why he's not moving the way he should. And of course, his communication strategy is probably also not working. Those are some of the challenges. I don't know what you consider as a challenge for Kalonzo Musyoka. But the biggest dilemma are the following. Number one, Kalonzo Musyoka must deal with emerging camps in ODM party. Raila Odinga's exit from ODM party is definitely going to create camps in ODM party. Raila Odinga is trying to deal with that by saying that, okay, I'll be leaving, but I'm going to have Oparanya, and I'm also going to have you, Oparanya and Joho, as the leader. Then maybe he will be somewhere there. Immediately made that announcement, you saw Opiyo Wandayi coming out to claim that there are no camps in Azimio. Babu Owino made a declaration that he will be on the table. If he won't be on that table, he will break the table. And I've seen the response of most people on this platform. They agree with Babu Owino. So it means in ODM party, if Raila were to leave, Kalonzo Musyoka is going to have that disadvantage of factions. You know, when Raila is there, it means Kalonzo can easily just deal with Raila Odinga and everything will flow. For now, Kalonzo Musyoka is in a situation where he might not know which individual to work with. If you were to work with Oparanya, a camp would be viewed as a camp. If you were to work with Joho, a camp. If you were to work with... So that dilemma is something which he will have to deal with. I don't know how he's going to navigate around it. Number two, there's also the running mate equation in Azimio. How do you think Kalonzo Musyoka can navigate the running mate equation in Azimio? Of course, clearly, Kalonzo Musyoka has expressed his interest of working with Eugene Wamalwa, who is qualified. But the truth of the matter is that ODM is the dominant party. If they were to put that demand to Kalonzo, that we want the running mate, Kalonzo Musyoka will have to give in. But how will he pick that running mate? How? How do you think Kalonzo Musyoka can pick a running mate from ODM party? The truth is, based on my own understanding, a good running mate for Kalonzo Musyoka should come from the Luhya nation, so that he can have Kalonzo as the presidential candidate, then ODM to produce a running mate. That would mean Eugene Wamalwa will be out of equation. So where do you put Eugene Wamalwa if he's not on the equation and is a principal? Then if that running mate has to come from the Luhya nation, is that person going to be Oparanya? Or is it going to be Sifuna? In fact, I advised Kalonzo Musyoka that the best running mate for him is either Babu Owino or Edwin Sifuna. Those are the realities. Yeah? But in politics, realities are different things. There are other factors which they can consider. So it means Kalonzo Musyoka has that big headache. How will he pick the running mate? There are also other Azimio co-principals. They want it. Wajakoya the fifth also comes from the Luhya nation. Of course, he can pick Wajakoya the fifth if he doesn't want to do with either Sifuna or Oparanya. But the truth is, that running mate issue, very hot. Number three, and this is something that I've been thinking about. You see, there is the NADCO report. A NADCO report is making certain recommendations. NADCO report is recommending that we are going to have the office of the Prime Minister. Of course, the office of Musalia Mudavadi, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, is going to be changed. It's going to be put in the Constitution. Then, it's also proposing to create the office of the official opposition leader and 2 deputies. This is going to be a very powerful office, funded by taxpayers' money. Flag, bodyguards, higher than the rank of a minister. Now, I've always insisted on this platform that politics is a game of numbers. Assuming Raila Odinga were to go to Addis Ababa, fine, Amanda. Who is going to be the official leader of the opposition? Based on numbers, ODM is supposed to produce that person. So if, for example, let's say they pick Oparanya or Joho to be the official leader of the opposition, that will relegate Kalonzo Musyoka to be the deputy, based on numbers. But of course, gentlemen's agreement can allow ODM to agree to support Kalonzo Musyoka as the leader of the official opposition. Then who is going to be the deputy? Kalonzo Musyoka will then decide, okay, Martha Karua, because wewe ulikuwa running mate wa Raila, ama Eugene Wamalwa, you are a co-principal, or ODM. And if it's ODM, who? So he is going to face serious challenges. The 4th challenge, and this is something I think he must be dealing with, Raila Odinga's political interests. Post African Union job, Raila Odinga will get the job. He will go to Addis Ababa. What is his political interest? Will he still be planning to come back to run? Yeah? And if he will not be coming back to contest, his interest, what are his interests? And how are those interests going to be covered? You see, Raila Odinga did not get support from the deep state because they never considered the political interest of some of those deep state members. Raila Odinga never factored in the political interest of Matiang'i. And that's how they lost control of the deep state. When Raila Odinga named the 4 members to his cabinet, he left out Matiang'i. Matiang'i never recovered. Matiang'i really wanted to be named the cabinet secretary for education. If Raila Odinga had done that, probably things would have been good for him. Kalonzo Musyoka cannot ignore Raila Odinga's political interest. Because if he will ignore Raila Odinga's political interest, William Ruto will provide that political interest to Raila Odinga. I've always told you that politics is a game of interest. There are only 2 constant: interest and betrayal. So which means Kalonzo Musyoka must figure out, he must project Raila Odinga's political interest and how he's going to cover for them. Without that, someone else will cover for Raila Odinga's political interest. I don't know what you think, but those are my take. Until next time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.